A recent study was done on the voting behaviors of Jamaicans, looking at what factors drive people to participate in the electoral process. These findings were shared by local political commentator and assistant lecturer at the University of the West Indies, Mona Damon Gordon. He says globally, the age group 65 to 74 records the highest level of voter turnout, but the 18 to 24 records the lowest.
We find that among the 65 to 74 age group, those persons are more conservative. They believe in customs and tradition, and therefore they see the act of voting as a form of civil duty. Therefore, they don't even deliberate whether or not why they vote. They just see it as an act of duty, and they're just simply executing their duty. So the older voters are more conservative. They tend to stick to tradition and custom, and they see voting as a civic duty, and they do it out of a sense of obligation, out of a sense of duty. Younger persons, on the other hand, they are more deliberative, they are more progressive, and therefore they adopt more pragmatic attitude towards voting. They're not ideological, they're not philosophical about voting necessarily.
When pressed for the reasons why voter apathy is so strong within young people, Mr. Gordon explained that some young people seem to have lost faith in the political parties, and there are key factors that they're looking for to move them to the polls.
Young persons, for the most part, are more concerned about deliverables. They're more concerned about tangible improvements and changes in the quality of their lives. And they're less inclined to accept promises and even education. They're more inclined, for the most part, to see results and act after the results rather than before. And it is a product of the kind of political system within which they operate, because they're fully aware of the fact that limited social economic transformation has taken place in the Jamaican society.
Also speaking during PBCJ's News and Current Affairs show, PBCJ Presents, social and political commentator Nadine Spence placed the blame on the process and the perceived feeling that it is a middle-aged person's sport. She highlighted more must be done by the political parties.
One of the things we have to remember about a democracy is that it is the political party that has the responsibility to bring new people into politics. And our political parties are not doing a very good job of attracting new membership and getting people to understand how they participate in the politics. So I think globally political parties have failed in that. I think their leadership isn't representative of most of the population, and so I don't think they seek to ensure that their offering is such that people will want to come out and vote. And again, you talk about civics. There is not the electoral process doesn't teach, it is not taught, and it doesn't then find ways to get people to understand how our politics works. So young people are not very familiar with what are the possibilities in the politics, where they can add their voice, how they can become active citizens, and the ways in which their particular identities can be reflected in the institution.